On May 18th, 2024, just before midnight, Grand Rapids police officers hurried to a downtown alley after receiving reports that a person had been shot.
911, where's your emergency?
I just heard some gunshots and there seems to be a person on the ground not responding.
No! Stop! You need to move right now.
That's my sister. That's my sister. Please let me go.
The officers immediately started CPR, doing everything they could to save the victim, but it soon became evident that they were already too late.
Victim appears to be beyond medical help here. Stand by.
Within minutes, EMS arrived and confirmed the officers' worst fears. The victim, 15-year-old Lijah Williams, had died from her injuries.
What was TOD?
Like 348.
It is a female, Lijah.
Police swiftly secured the scene and launched their investigation right away.
Is there casings over there?
Do you guys know anything about what happened?
That's my sister.
That's your sister?
That's my blood sister. I don't know nothing. I just got here.
But if the shots came from in here, we're gonna have to walk this.
They obtained surveillance footage from the area, which captured the moments leading up to the shooting. Just around the corner from the alley, 5 kids were seen riding scooters at about 11:30 p.m. Lijah was among them. Her brother, wearing an orange shirt, was in front as the group turned into the alley. When he reached the far end, he glanced to his right and noticed a suspicious group approaching. He instantly turned around, as if trying to avoid them. As the group reached the intersection, one of its members looked down the alley, pulled a handgun from his waistband, and fired 4 shots. One of those bullets struck Lijah in the back of the head. Both groups appeared startled and fled in different directions. Because the shooter had his face covered, police couldn't make a positive identification. So when Detective Brandon Romero took over the case, his top priority was locating the witnesses from the scene, in hopes they could identify the gunman. Meanwhile, dispatch circulated a general description of the shooter to all units.
Suspect information is a black male with a hoodie, black and white sweatpants, and dreads. That's all we have at this point.
Word of Lijah's death spread rapidly through the community, and soon her friends and family began gathering at the scene, desperate for answers about who was responsible.
Hey, I got her.
Since police had very little information at that stage, they asked Lijah's family to come to the station the following morning.
I can tell you guys personally that we have a really good start on this case.
Okay. Did you guys get the video from the cinema?
Yes. Yeah, we got video and we've watched. I mean, there's a guy right now actively. We're pulling cameras after camera throughout the city. The only unfortunate thing is we can't positively identify the shooter's face.
If they ain't gonna talk, there ain't nothing we can do.
We understand that there's going to be juvenile, young little kids that ain't going to want to talk to us as this moves forward, but at the end of the day, we'll get there.
Okay.
Trust me, we'll get there.
Lijah's family had crucial information for the detectives. They believed she hadn't been the intended target. Instead, it seemed likely that one of her friends had gotten into a recent fight with a local gang member and that this conflict had triggered the shooting. Unfortunately, they didn't know who had been involved in that altercation.
Do you have any idea when this fight was?
That was a couple weeks ago.
Although the information was helpful, detectives reminded them that speculation alone wouldn't be enough to bring Lijah's killer to justice.
Biggest and most important thing out of this whole thing is we have to work backwards, identify the people that she's with.
We got to be able to prove stuff. It's great being able to have you guys pass on information, but that's called hearsay from the court's eyes. You can't go up on the stand and testify to that.
Right.
We have to hear it from the people that actually saw it.
So moving forward, if anything else comes up, names, please just call us. Or if you're able to talk to any of them that you know are there now for sure, and they're willing to talk to us, because at the end of the day, we got to piece this together.
She was gonna be somebody. She was gonna go to the NBA. There's not a shadow of a doubt in my mind.
I don't care what she had going on. What happened did not happen.
Yeah. I just want justice. At least I know that y'all are trying to figure out what's going on.
Trust me, we're doing it. I'm going on about 12 hours of sleep the last 3 days. So believe me, it's a priority and there's a lot of work being put into it.
Detective Romero spent the next 48 hours compiling every bit of security footage collected from around the city, tracking the shooter's movements throughout the night of the murder. Nothing appeared unusual at first. The suspect wandered around downtown Grand Rapids, picking up friends along the way, until the full group seen during the shooting had formed. But despite having hours of footage, Romero still couldn't identify the suspect because the shooter kept his face covered the entire night. Then, about 2.5 blocks from the crime scene and shortly after the shooting, the breakthrough came. The suspect was finally caught on camera walking down the sidewalk without his mask. He later met back up with his friends, got into a car, and drove off. With a clear image of the shooter's face at last, Detective Romero brought in Lijah's sister and one of her friends for interviews, hoping they could finally put a name to the person responsible.
You guys know why you're here.
Yep.
Do you understand? Right? We are investigating what happened to your sister. What do you know about what happened?
I was at home. I was supposed to meet her downtown. But then, literally, like 30 minutes after they got downtown, I got a call, and then it was like, look, Lijah got shot. And I was like, what? By who?
Okay. I'm going to show you a video. I just want you guys to tell me who it is. Okay.
Yes, that's Josiah Pitman. Why is he not? That's irritating. Clear as day.
18-year-old Josiah Pitman is a troubled teenager who attends the same high school as Lijah and her siblings. He lives in a tough Grand Rapids neighborhood where gun violence is prevalent and fatalities are all too common.
How do you know Joe?
I knew him since I was in middle school. I'm telling you, that was every day.
Okay.
Yes, we had almost every single class together. Like,
Oh, really?
yes.
Okay.
But we still like kept in touch. Like even after Lijah died, I did text him and kept everything cordial. Like I didn't even know nothing. I just asked him on the phone, like, "You killed Lijah?" And he told me no. He lied. So, but I will go and identify that boy. I will go if he go to court for this. I'm going to be at every single one. I don't care. And at least I'm gonna go knowing that I spoke up for Lijah. And has he even been brought in?
We still have enough evidence right now.
Although this was progress, authorities couldn't arrest Josiah until a witness who had actually been at the scene could confirm he was the shooter. The challenge was that no one was coming forward. On July 1st, 2024, the Grand Rapids Police Department released the surveillance footage on social media. The video showed Josiah with 5 friends, 4 males and 1 female, appearing to be high school students in their late teens. That same day, Police Chief Eric Winstrom held a press conference, urging the community to help identify the individuals in the footage.
When we lose a 15-year-old to gun violence in downtown Grand Rapids, that falls on the whole city. We have video evidence which shows that these 5 individuals were absolutely within feet of the murderer, saw what happened, saw who pulled the trigger, and they saw Lijah get killed. And we need to hear from them. We need to talk to them. And we need the adults in Grand Rapids, the parents, the teachers, to help us to identify these individuals, stand up, help us, and do the right thing.
Shortly after the press conference, the police received a call from someone claiming to recognize one of the individuals in the surveillance footage. Using the information provided, Detective Romero was able to identify the girl and, eager to speak with her, went to her house to meet with her mother.
Hello, how are ya?
Do you have a daughter by chance? Yes. If you could explain to her, she's not a suspect. Okay. But it is very important that we talk to her, okay? Okay. Tell her, give me a call. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Although the girl's mother appeared cooperative, 20 days passed without any word from the witness, and investigators were growing frustrated. Detective Romero decided to call the mother again, warning her that there could be serious consequences if her daughter failed to share what she knew with the police.
Detective Romero. Hey, how are you? Well, I can explain a lot of things to you that will probably ease your mind. There was a homicide that occurred down in the city of Grand Rapids, and I've identified your daughter as being one of the, I'm going to call her a witness because that's what she is. I can tell you this right now. She was within feet of the individual who fired the shots. And now, do I believe she knew that it was going to happen? I don't. And that's just based on body language, but she was with the suspect. She just needs to understand that I am investigating a violent crime. If you lie during a violent crime investigation, you can be charged with it. Okay. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
The process was finally moving forward, and it looked like the witness interview was about to happen. But before it could take place, someone called the police to report a stolen vehicle, a seemingly unrelated incident. Officers on patrol quickly tracked it down, and when they pulled the car over, 2 people jumped out and ran.
They're bailing. Rosemary and Evergreen. Whoa. Hey, stop! Please, stop!
The 2 suspects were quickly surrounded, prompting them to dart through nearby properties and hop over fences in an attempt to escape.
Stop! 2 northbound. 2 backyards.
The officers stayed hot on their trail and eventually caught up to one of the suspects, bringing him down to the ground.
Get my buddy back. We're gonna take him on the What's your name, man? Josiah. What's your last name, Josiah? Pitman. What is it? Pitman.
The officer didn't know who Josiah Pitman was until he ran his record and discovered that he was the prime suspect in Lijah's murder.
Alright, man, you can step on out.
The officer didn't know who Josiah Pitman was until he ran his record and discovered that he was the prime suspect in Lijah's murder.
Okay, this guy, the guy that had a white balaclava, was he sitting in the front passenger seat of the car? Where were you sitting again?
I was in the very back.
Did you know anybody had any weapons inside the car? Did anybody talk about having any weapons? No. Okay. So just on this picture, I just want to make sure I'm clarifying. The guy that had a balaclava. Don't know his name, but front seat passenger. And you're certain that the other individuals that were in the car, you don't know them by any type of names. Okay.
Well, I didn't expect any of this to happen.
Right. Did he have this face mask on the entire time? No.
I don't think so.
So if you were to see a picture of him, would you be able to tell me that the person who's in the car? Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you a video here captured from the downtown area. I just want you to tell me if you recognize the individual. It's only a 9-second clip, okay?
Just the dude that was in the passenger.
Okay.
Detective Romero finally had the evidence he needed for an arrest, a witness confirming that Josiah Pitman was the shooter. Investigators quickly located him at a residence in South Grand Rapids. Romero coordinated a large operation, deploying multiple cruisers, a K-9 unit, and a SWAT team to carry out the arrest. A drone was also put into action to monitor anyone entering or leaving the property. Suddenly, one of the units spotted someone down the street who resembled Josiah.
That's one is walking out downtown, all black with red shoes on. You know, an SRT want to make initial contact, please. Moving in.
The units surrounding the house held their positions as the SWAT team advanced to apprehend Josiah.
He's compliant.
However, it turned out to be a false alarm. The person spotted was just a random bystander. The officers around the residence were then given the go-ahead and ordered Josiah to come outside.
Josiah, we have a K-9 on scene. Do not attempt to flee. We're not here to hurt you. Do as you're told. You will not be harmed. Exit the front door with your hands up. Hands up! Hands up! Put your hands on your head! Hands on your head! Put your hands right back up!
Josiah cautiously stepped out of the house, carefully complying with the SWAT team's instructions.
Start walking towards us. Just listen to what we say.
He was handcuffed and escorted into the back of a police cruiser.
Lean back.
He was immediately transported to the police station and taken into the interrogation room for questioning.
Do you have any idea why you're here? At all? I just want to bring your attention back to May 18th, and it's specifically in the downtown Grand Rapids area. Do you remember anything about being down there?
No.
No. Did you happen to hear about a 15-year-old girl being shot in the downtown area?
Yes.
You did see that?
I mean, it should happen to the person that shot that girl. You don't know?
This entire incident was captured on camera. And I want to hear your side of the story as to what happened. I want to hear it from Josiah Pitman.
I don't recall.
You don't recall? Do you recall being there? Is it possible you were there? You were not down there?
No.
You don't know? This is your opportunity.
I don't remember.
What's that?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Detective Romero's emotions were already intense, with Lijah's killer sitting before him, and Josiah's attempts to play dumb only heightened the tension. Still, the detective remained composed and chose to confront him with screenshots from the surveillance footage.
I'm going to show you a picture. Who's that?
So you're going to stick with a story that you know nothing about it, you were not down there, after I just showed you 6 pictures of you downtown Grand Rapids. That's your story. Hello? Yes or no? Thumbs up? Okay, yes. This is no longer juvenile stuff, buddy.
Do you know how severe this is? And you're okay with it? You're okay with eating a murder charge? All I can say is we have a 15-year-old girl now that's dead. I don't think she's the target. There's more to this story. This is why your opportunity right now to tell us the more of the story.
I don't got no story to tell.
Clearly, Josiah showed no remorse for shooting an innocent person. Detectives took his silence as a signal to end the interview. He was booked into the county jail, and authorities held a press conference to announce his arrest.
Over this past weekend, the Grand Rapids Police have arrested Josiah Pitman, and my office has filed charges against Mr. Pitman for that homicide that occurred back in May.
A 15-year-old girl who was literally just riding her scooter in downtown Grand Rapids is gunned down, and the family was devastated. Absolutely heartbreaking, absolutely tragic, absolutely avoidable. We are not going to be the city that tolerates one of our children getting murdered and not following through.
At Josiah's arraignment, the judge read his charges aloud, but he appeared completely unconcerned. If anything, he looked bored.
The crime is called homicide murder second degree, which in the state of Michigan is a life offense or any term of years. It is alleged that you did carry or have in your possession a firearm to wit a handgun at the time you committed or attempted to commit a felony.
He pled not guilty to the charges and was denied bond. Although Josiah initially claimed innocence, he later confessed to being the shooter and changed his plea to guilty. His sentencing took place on October 8, 2025, just 6 days after his 20th birthday. Sitting with his defense team, he wore a smirk on his face. Lijah's mother, Shakita Matt, addressed the court, urging the judge to hold her daughter's killer fully accountable.
Lijah's death did not only take my daughter, it shook my entire family. My other children are grieving deeply and live in fear that the same thing might happen to them. I lost my son in 2011 to an unexplained death. And while the pain is unimaginable, the loss has been even harder to cope with my daughter. I hope the person responsible is held accountable for their actions. I share this not out of anger, but out of honesty, to make sure my daughter's life, my pain, our family's experience is truly heard and remembered. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Josiah was then given the chance to speak. He read a prepared statement aloud, offering an apology to Lijah's family for his actions.
Mr. Pitman is a person who was a child in our community, who was raised in this community, who was subjected to incredible difficulty as a young individual, as a young child. He saw his parents being incarcerated. He saw days where he had no parent oversight. He was often moved from home to home. When you have a young child who is at a young age looking out his window and seeing a gunman try to shoot another person, when you're having a young person who knows that individuals that he is closely associated with are involved in gang violence and knows that because of his connection to those individuals that he is a target, that he has in fact been targeted in the past. It created an immense trauma mindset, to be quite frank, and it created a situation for Josiah where he felt he was in a constant threat of gun violence.
So how does it stop? How does the cycle, generation to generation, or at least in this case,
Your Honor, I wish I had an answer. And
Same here.
And I think the reality is, I've known Mr. Pitman for a year now since he got arrested on this. And slowly, over time, he opened up. And the first ways that he opened up was showing profound remorse. Mr. Pitman's remorse is...
First, I want to apologize to the victim family for the sinful act that I committed, causing them great harm. Even though Elijah was not my intended target, I was wrong none of the rest for letting the devil take control of my actions on that horrible day. I hope that Elijah family and friends can find it in their heart to forgive. I understand them fully if they refuse to do so, because forgiveness is the gift that I honestly do not deserve.
After taking everybody's statements into consideration, the judge handed down Josiah's sentence.
It's going to be the sentence of this court. You should be committed to Michigan Department of Corrections to first serve the 2 years on a felony firearm. Consecutive to that charge, you will serve a minimum of 300 months to a maximum of 600 months in the Michigan Department of Corrections for the second-degree murder.
Josiah Tyreek Pitman was sentenced to a minimum of 27 years and a maximum of 52 years in prison. Throughout the hearing, he oddly smiled and laughed to himself, undermining the sincerity of the apology he read aloud to Lijah's family. He was subsequently taken to the Charles Eagler Reception and Guidance Center, where he currently remains. His earliest possible release is in 2045, with a maximum discharge date in 2076. Though Lijah's family will never be the same after her tragic death, they continue to honor and celebrate her life every day, keeping alive the memory of the special person she was.
Lijah Williams' photo printed on a shirt her sister Lemia Foster wears.
My baby. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry, I'm sorry.
Memories are all that's left of her little sister.
My favorite memory with her is when I show her my birth video and she just started gagging, like just gagging. But she came to the hospital with my baby. She would not hold my baby because she was like, it's too small, it's too small.
It's like almost not believable. You don't really believe it until you actually see the person, and it still is just like, it feel like she gonna walk through the door anytime.
Lemia Foster says her sister loved basketball, all things fashion, and a good joke.
She was
goofy.
That's what you could describe her as.
Very goofy.
She laughed at everything. She was a happy person, the happiest person I know. She made even the darkest times good.